My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
8ZUT258 at third-party facilitating venue Economy Inn, the Ontario International Airport. This is like a dark gray / blue colored, moving very quickly, rapidly, like a pseudo jet, if you will. Not as large as a commercial airline plane, and not very, very small either. License 6PHB813. Entity flashing directed light while these demons cross path. The U.S. Bank at 333 Euclid Avenue in Ontario, California. License 8AOB543, I believe. 8ZUT258 loiters in the car while a bunch of demons cross path, and then he gets out and goes to the ATM.
$5 out.
License 6W77121. 8DOR585.
Always in, whole dollars.
BW42B42 paper 5XXR578. 1240261. 8HHT994. 6JTF392. It's currently Friday, July 1st, 2022. 8FXV223. The entity of flashing directed light. Union Pacific is a sex offender molesting. While this light activity is occurring inside of the car they're monitoring. We're at Hope Boulevard and Euclid Avenue. Union Pacific, not the train, obviously, but the same company. They're driving around stalking in vehicles with those logos on them. It is, again, like I stated, Friday, July 1st, 2022. This is P.O.C. 8GSY619 5EDM 843 3130155, and that's Altadena 7THX947 P.O.C.
One bad mother.
7AYB369. 5GBM 185.
I didn't have to show no pay stub.
23307Y2. 8VBD056. 8VKT539 molesting. 7YOL574. 8JTD649. 7ALV117. 7S53355. 7PAK548. 8CCT431, 8USN224, 67073C1, 8HER598, 6B79905, 9E28344. The back license is 3911733. That's a large truck. The back license is carrying an evergreen logo on it. 7JJM835. 6NPW544, 8SIZ840, 7NHR777, 7TFA820. That's a demon that's engaged in surveillance in a dumpster truck, and so as I walk through the parking lot, then they walk out slamming that door. That's noise and engineered light. License 8KDV800, 7KVS562, 8KYZ038. Third-party facilitating venue Clinica Medica, California. All of these demons are monitoring. While the license plate that I recited, the 7PAK, this demon exits the parking lot, and as he turns his vehicle, directed light all across this plaza. All of these demons are standing in line monitoring. All right, all of these license plates represent third parties who are monitoring together with that demon. That's why that impossible light activity is occurring. They're also all standing in line under a fake sun. Let me show you that. Okay, this is P.O.C. License 06051Y1. Alrighty, so let me give you a big picture as well. First of all, that's not possibly the natural environment. It's not the sun that will be over the Shiro's liquor. The entity's keeping the fake sun over me while I'm en route to Ranch Cucamonga, by the way, through the window of a car, taking the specific streets of Euclid Avenue to Arrow, whatever route you take. The entity's keeping the fake sun right now over also the Shiro's liquor, the Clinic in Medica, California, inside of the B&G Plaza, where in the evening, coming from Ranch Cucamonga, for example, just like I documented the other day, the fake sun is aiming light into that same Shiro's liquor. So right now in the morning, it's over the roof of the Shiro's liquor. And this is what I document. This is exactly what I was speaking of when I documented that fake sun, as I'm looking through the window inside of the Shiro's liquor, while directed light is on the gin bottles in that liquor store. While the entity is aiming directed light through the aisles of that liquor store, and I'm looking at the fake sun through the windows of that Shiro's liquor. Right now, the fake sun is directly above that Shiro's liquor. That is not the sun. And it also followed as I remained in Rancho Cucamonga all day long. That's a pattern. All right, and all those demons are standing in line at California Clinic in Medica, California, and Ontario, California, where they're monitoring. Okay? That's what you're looking at. License. Stalking with the entity, that's stalking by helicopter. They're going to federal prison. 4S40325, 8RQY 645. Ontario Town Square Townhomes. The entity is stalking by helicopter flying over it. Let me tell you something. Shiro's Liquor, that owner, I read his license plate. He's going to federal prison. 8XVY 711. Because that's the entity that they're stalking and monitoring with. 8KQG345. Listen. 7ZTC. 774, federal prison. 8KUP 762, federal prison. That's a Latino male. They're flying over. That's the Ontario police. Again, who is already, let me tell you, they're disbanded already. They're already removed from existence. You're talking about what is a matter of time. I've already handled that. That's already done. It's already complete. 8PES005, 7MWR923, and that Ontario Police Department, who is a liability in a federal court, is serving for what is going to be federal prison for that Shiro's Liquor owner, whose license plate I recited, 6PVA298, for those third parties who are in the parking lot of Shiro's Liquor. All right, that's the idiot that are the Ontario Police Department, to their own destruction, and the third parties who are group stalking with them. 8KFS142, 5KVE714, and they are flying over by helicopter under the fake sun. They are doing so under that fake sun that's directly over Shiro's Liquor. And after 6:30, you're talking about approaching the 7 o'clock hour in the evening, the sun would not be seen through the window of that same exact Shiro's Liquor, contrary to what I captured in pictures just the other day. And this is exactly what I was speaking of. But what happens moments later, where Student Transportation of America is terrorizing with the Ontario Police Department, I'll prosecute them civilly and criminally. Union Pacific is group stalking with the Ontario Police Department. That's what you're listening to. All right. And they're also group stalking in vehicles while I'm being molested with directed light. Doing so, you're going to prosecute these companies. That's group stalking, okay? The entity is doing so with the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department. While I'm capturing the fake sun through the window of Shiro's Liquor just the other day, the fake sun is over the Metro 102 apartments. I'm looking at the Metro 102 apartments right now. The same Metro 102 apartments where the Ontario Police Department just flew over by helicopter. Metro 102 apartments is monitoring. That's a whole bunch of third parties subject to a prosecution. I've documented this entity, this community, this area for a very long time. All right, you're talking about what is federal prosecution for a whole jurisdiction. 7MWR923, 9BCW028, 7UKP805. And why, pray tell, is the Ontario Police Department flying over by helicopter besides the fact that they're a stalker? All right, and a very demented one. You're getting another vivid picture of the psychopath stalking day and night in a helicopter. Why in the hell are you flying over? Who does this? This is group stalking, though. I'm showing you not only is it pathetic, they're very, very sick. You're just busting out with a helicopter? That's not a coincidence when I'm documenting the P.O.C. Also, when I'm showing you what you know as a matter of conclusive scientific fact, that this is not the natural environment, because that would never be the sun, as I'm describing at the same Shiro's Liquor, and then through the window of the Shiro's Liquor after 6:30 in the afternoon. You have what is the Ontario Police Department, who are monitoring with all of these demons, the jurisdiction, in other words, who will be prosecuted. 7DXB728, it's public corruption. License 7EOJ or 7EQJ965. That's the same Ontario Police Department engaging in what is kidnapping. All right, and then monitoring with the demons at the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court while I show you them stalking with helicopters as well. 7 MWR 923, 8 PRU 445. This is a jurisdiction that's going to be prosecuted. It's going to be exposed. That has no legal authority whatsoever, and that's exactly why I'm not submitting to it. I'm prosecuting it. All right, it is currently 8:38 a.m. This is P.O.C. Let me get this demon. They're all monitoring with the Ontario Police Federal Prison. License 7X53150, 8K84935, BRB R4LF inside of Oscar's Barbershop, sitting in there, gaining time in federal prison. They're monitoring, and they're sex offenders while this demon touches me with light. They're just racking up those federal charges. 04814L3, 98EE597, 7BIR135. This is impunity. While another demon coming by to molest 7JXB862, directed light all across the barbershop, where that demon with BR4LF, he's going to sit in federal prison with these. And if these 8JXB862 aren't natural born citizens, they're going to sit in federal prison, and then they're going to be deported out of this country. If they're not natural born citizens, you're going to serve your time, and then you are shipped out of here, and you're not welcome back. License 57120D3, 8ZKC262, 8ZKC266, 6SQT527. Andy's Burgers, monitoring with the Ontario Police while they're flying over in relevant position under a fake sun in directed light while I'm being molested with directed light, while I'm being terrorized by helicopter. They're in relevant position, subject to federal prison. 6RTJ332, 8B42700, 9ALK218, 9ANC263, snap on, directed light, crossing path with the police, 70938V2. 6440983. Let's see. License 7ZTA917, 7MGH495, 7CEE206, 7ZTM261. License plate Dragon directed light 8DDK723. Yeah, I read that one already. BV42700. And Omnitrans is loading a relevant position at third-party facilitating venue, Metro 102 apartments, where the police are stalking in helicopters under what is a fake sun. What do you think Omnitrans is and what they're doing while they're using nothing other than a bus and with their hazard lights on? It's called P.O.C. Omnitrans is a group stalker. License 6ARU460. License 7YQG480. All right, and you're understanding what is going to be prosecution of the people of the state while they're group stalking where they live. The entity is flying over your apartment building by helicopter, monitoring, placing under surveillance someone else. You're not passively present. 7ZWF600. 5LYP837, you're not passively present under the fake sun while the entity is stalking by helicopter, flying over your apartment building in relevant position to a targeted individual. You're not passively present in directed light under the fake sun while the entity is flying over and around stalking an American citizen by helicopter. You are directly engaged in that criminal system. That's what group stalking is, and it's entirely malicious. All right, and the unintelligent and woefully unprepared posture of an entity engaging in this is thinking that you can live in relevant position and that somehow you're disconnected. No, it's evidence against you while that entity flies over your apartment building. 6PIC764, and that's exactly what the Ontario Police Department just did. And they've been doing that for years. This is the prosecution of a jurisdiction. License, it's prosecution of the state. License 99523M1. Okay, budget, trucking, they're monitoring, and they're doing so with the police. Don't forget that part of the analysis. The Ontario Police flew over by a helicopter, so that's included in who I'm documenting. Ice skating rink on Plum and Transit, they're monitoring as well. 02870G3. Student transportation license 7HOD186. That looks like a Latino male. He's wearing a black hat. He's wearing a light tan straw hat and a blue shirt and a mustache. 8WMR841. He literally looks like he could have put that mustache on, put some glasses and that hat on, and hopped in the school bus in cross path. 5GBM185, 8TNZ684, 8XBH158. 7MP, I can't see that one, 33081W2. Nonetheless, the entity wants to use school buses. The entity wants to use municipality vehicles. The entity wants to give minions United States Postal Service vehicles. They'll be prosecuted. All right? They will be prosecuted. License 7KQL678, Ontario Town Square, pacing around the property with communication devices, crossing paths, group stalking, doing so as I walk. License, Brian's Automotive. They're a part of the same criminal conduct. They're over here monitoring. They're pacing all around. 7 U.S.C. 128. 8T, or hold on, I'll get this in a second. 8NJM 446, and this is 8TTY or 8ITY 619. What's up? AWKV 844, 7WYC 115, X3 785 handicap. License 8XER 581, 7RZY 672. 7KMT 006. 9ASX 490. 6ZLM 984. HEYCUB. 7, yeah, I read that one already. JMR 419. 12135U2. 8XAJ 427. 7FEW 343. These are the demons of Ontario Town Square Townhomes and Metro 1 and 2 apartments. 8JKH 738. 6GUJ 714. 33113G2. 8ZEC 503. 7UTV 767. 889 S94. That's Nevada. City of Ontario pacing around. My shadows on both sides of me. They're group stalking into the fake sun that's now on Plum 1416308. That's just a municipality engaging in stalking, monitoring, demonic activity, terrorism. License 6MTX425. 6CNJ 741. Oh, and also sexual violence. They're being sex offenders while you're being molested. You're talking about what is an ongoing tabulation of sexual violence. The perpetual sex offense. 37354L2. All right, you were talking about what is legally speaking. The group stalker, the prosecution of group stalking. It is designed such that you will never recover from being prosecuted for that level of a sex offense on behalf of the government, and that's by design. And that's just because based on the infliction of harm that a government is engaged in when they're placing you under surveillance, engaging in this demonic system. 7CIM 426, 6JDW 421, 9BLS 399, 8SUN 928. You're teaching Satan about the consequences that you will not avoid, you will in no way reduce or eliminate, while Satan wants to obsessively touch all over you all the time. I mean, just perpetually, like I stated, perpetually touching while you're stalking, and a psychopath keeping noise all around you while they're pacing all around you. A weirdo psychopath that always wants to touch on you. That's a sex offender. All right. 8PUR 716, 8UZR 406, 8CGC 743, 7JJL 589, 424DB handicap, CD 70H40 paper, 7XRR 387, 7JIT 124, 9ARF 444, 6VATO 35, 4MTF 122, 6WUZ 493, 5MRU 354, 8VPD 021, 9AMU 364, 7HRY 535, 8SYG 883, L15921, 7HDH 892, 8RKT 587, state facilitating venue, the Ontario City Hall, filled with demons engaging in criminal activity. They're in relevant position while the Ontario Police Department are stalking by helicopter. The Ontario City Hall is engaged in group stalking. All right, that's what they're doing. They are a group stalker. 8SNX664, and they're a bunch of demons. That's what you need to know about those government actors inside of that venue. THXLUIS 7X88210. 8JJX000, 7WIG756, 8BHL385. (693TT handicap), 7DJD259. And now you have again back all of a sudden now the fake sun is over me as I'm walking to the side of the Ovid Family Community Library. Directed light that's in the shade as you're walking in that's a sex offense. You got a demon that's using dumpsters as his excuse for crossing paths with you, stalking, coming from the 280 North Lemon apartments. While you have what is not sunlight, and nor would that be the sun, while you're in Rancho Cucamonga, there's not going to be any sunlight appearing, by the way, just inexplicably in the shade. That's a sex offender that wants to touch you. All right, and that's a demon that's group stalking while that light activity surrounds, pacing around you. All right, and now you have what's the fake sun that's on the side of the Ovid Family Community Library. This is P.O.C. And it's the revealing, again, like I stated, LORRAINE College of Law, that needs to be shut down. They're a bunch of demons, and they, by virtue of the pattern of conduct, they are unfit, not only to teach law, but to practice law, enter into the legal field. They're a bunch of criminals, and they're also demons. You have enough demons in the legal field, by the way. The entity is the Ontario International Airport, group stalking with the Ontario Police. Group stalking, that is ongoing evidence as to what I just stated about LORRAINE. This is P.O.C. It's under a fake sun and indirected light. See, capturing what is the fake sun that's directly over the side, over my head, on the side of the Ovid Family Community Library, which I've been using as an ongoing comparison while I'm in Chino, California, while I'm in Rancho Cucamonga, California. And the entity's fake sun is not at the same time while I'm at the Ontario Police Department, etc. So the entity is engaging in what is stalking with, indeed, what is a light source. And as I go from venue to venue, showing you what is that ongoing stalking with an environment, demonic activity, revealing the truth to you that in order that you may be awakened and witness what is an unprecedented prosecution of a public entity that is the state of California that's practicing satanic ritualistic stalking, which is criminal monitoring, and it's in concert with the people of the state, the demon possessed. I am also revealing to you what is an impossible occurrence. Now, all of a sudden, you have what is the light source. That is, again, the pattern directly over me. But look at where it's at directly over me. It is at the Ovid Family Community Library where the entity is at the same position. I mean, I've gone through this analysis. That would not be the sun while it is. I'm literally en route to Rancho Cucamonga yesterday and remaining there at the Panera, at the bus stop, and then at the Panera Bread, and then out back to the bus stop, and then to the Victoria Gardens. You're talking about the Chino Branch Library. You're talking about everywhere else I went in order to highlight the kidnapping that this entity engaged in on June 16th. And then when I return in the morning, this is going back to the site, and you're looking at what is that ongoing impossible occurrence. This is not happening while I'm in relevant position to the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. The sun would not be over the side of the library. It's not going to be over me at the B&G Plaza. It's clearly over in an entirely different, distinct location, and in no way at the same time in those different parts of those different locations would the sun be in its zenith over my head, creating that light activity that I'm showing you at those mutually exclusive locations. This is demonic. And that's what you hear the Ontario Airport engaging in, creating audible activity, hovering above me, which is a demon that's crossing path, that's pacing, under that fake sun and in that engineered light with the demons who are all around in any buildings and pacing all around, walking around, driving around. This is demonic activity that the Ontario International Airport is engaging in, using commercial planes. You're using a whole plane. Like, that's what you're doing with planes. That's crazy, all right? Well, by crazy, I mean, it's not insanity crazy. That's psychopath crazy. But by crazy, I'm really speaking to that is like unbelievable that you would do, that somebody would, who, you know, this is the level of sickness. This is Satan, though. And this is the heights of that system, all right? And that's what's exposed. So while you create audible activity, you're telling on yourself because it's already known that that's not the sun. And what you're doing is serving that environment that you are engaging in any activity creation and are present in, all right? This is the pattern of conduct. You're listening to a bunch of demons who have already captured in images and on video pasting all around. That's what these demons are doing. Where the fake sun is present at the Ovid Family Community Library, pasting all around. This is P.O.C. And again, it is Friday, July 1st, 2022. And it is 8:52 a.m. Alrighty, and capturing what is demonic pacing. Where it is that I'm seated, you'll have what are demons that are pacing underneath this side. The entity's keeping the fake sun over me, surrounded with what is the engineered light. You're listening to the methods of noise. You've got demons on the roof of the library, under the fake sun. You've got demons that are pacing all around the venue. You've got demons that are pacing all around me under this shaded structure, walking back and forth, in and out all around, while noise. This is noise, presence, and light. Those are the elements of monitoring, and it's demonic activity. And it's the demon possessed that engage in that. This is documentation of what is harassment. That's why I'm spelling that out, because I've shown you what is the P.O.C, and this is what they're doing all together while I remain here. It is, again, 8:53 a.m. Let's show you the Ontario Police. Alrighty, that is the Ontario Police Department group stalking over the parking garage. Relevant positioning. And the fake sun moves to remain over me while they are stalking. While I'm at B&G Plaza, the fake sun is over the Shiro's Liquor. This is the City Hall. The Ontario City Hall is a group stalker. University of LORRAINE College of Law, they're a group stalker. Obviously, the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, the Ontario Senior Center, the 280 North Lemon Apartments, Staples, this demon third party, this is the people of the state. I don't need their license plate, the people of the state, all of the third parties, the pool of defendants are group stalking. And that's the Ontario Police Department. All right, group stalking, they're subject to what is disbanding. They're entirely illegitimate. They're acts of kidnapping in concert with the group stalker that is the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, having no legitimacy under the law whatsoever, no legal authority under the law, and that's that stalking conduct that I captured. And this is the fake sun that's right over me, okay? You've got demons that are on the roof of the library wearing hard hats. They're stalking. They're monitoring. There are demons that are focused on you, and that's why the Ontario Police Department is stalking again. Remember, on this same side, this is the side of the library. First of all, I'm in Rancho Cucamonga. The entity's keeping a fake sun over me. That's the P.O.C. in and of itself. The impossibility that there would be a mutual zenith. This is the maintenance of presence while the demons that are the Ontario Police Department are pacing all around. This is terrorism while an entity is stalking you in that manner, though. And these are demons that are stalking with them. A demon's not sleep in direct light under the fake sun. It's called relevant positioning. But you have, what is that, 5:45 p.m. Remember, the fake sun, the same building, and it's from at 5:45 p.m. My video has captured the fake sun right here at this edge of the building. An impossible occurrence while that same demon-possessed Ontario Police Department flying directly over my head. All right, but like I said, this position, there is no placement of the sun that's going to be anywhere near the Ontario Police Department at 9:42 a.m. or at 10:29 a.m. It's going to stay right here, all right, up until what is the time that I leave this venue, which is speaking to state surveillance, as I've already documented and exposed it at the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. So while I'm here, let me just include the fact what goes with this analysis. This entire entity is a sex offender. The Ontario City Hall, a state facilitating venue, they're a sex offender, and they're monitoring, invading privacy as an entity while my panties are down in the bathroom. This is documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. All right, it is currently 6:19 p.m. And I remain outside at the venue of the state facilitating venue, the Ovitt Family Community Library. And I just want to document this is a Latino male captured with the dog. This is a demon. He's engaged in ongoing harassment by an entity. He's group stalking with the state of California, and this is a demon that's pacing in the side walkway. And then they're joined by other demons. You have another demon that's walking by. They're walking all around. These are demons that are pacing. And I want to be clear, this is the same minion that I've already documented. It's the same Latino male. And this is very disturbing conduct, demons that are stalking you and pacing all around. This is demonic activity that they're engaging in. And they're doing it with the Ontario airport as well. The Ontario airport using commercial airline planes hovering over a senior citizen apartment complex in order to engage in stalking me with these demons that are pacing all around me with this amplified audible activity in doing so. And again, the same venue where I've already shown the fake sun, by the way, over my head at this same Ovitt Family Community Library where it's over me in the morning as I captured today at 8:53. And it remains as I exit at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. By the way, nowhere near coexisting would ever be seen through the window of the Paul Bryan Library. But remember, I documented that, seeing it through the window. And then as I step out of the entrance, right there at the side of the entrance, same venue, mutually exclusive to what is a pattern, though, remaining at whatever venue I happen to be at. That's speaking to what the Ontario airport is engaging in, which is also a sex offense. The entity is molesting me with directed light, harassing with directed light. These are demons that are harassing while they're touching with flashing directed light. And so I want to be clear, all of this is underway while I am seated outside of the Ovitt Family Community Library that engaged in ongoing surveillance all day long. Demonic activity, a bunch of demons inside of the venue. They're all pacing around with multiple shadows all day long. It's group stalking that's underway at the state facilitating venue of the Ovitt Family Community Library. And as I'm outside, you have demons that are driving all around at the turn circle, and I'm seated outside, and you have the impossible occurrence. It is the conduct of demonic activity. It's also going to be prosecuted as terrorism. Every third party I documented around Cucamonga, every third party, just to be clear, they're all documented, and they are right now engaging in what is that sex offense, terrorism, and harassment by in the most demonic and demented method. This is going on what are criminal records, what are violent sex offending psychopaths, and that's what they're doing, which is this demonic activity that I'm documenting. That's what they're doing, and that's exactly what's going to be placed on the criminal records of the third parties, the people of the state who have already documented. This is what the entity is engaging in, all right? And so I want to document that while I remain on the side of the Ovitt Family Community Library. It is currently 6:21 p.m., 6:22 p.m. right now. The fake sun remains at the same venue as I've already shown on video. Okay, showing you directed light inside of that parking garage. Those are demons on skateboards stalking in the path with noise. They're pacing, what you hear in the background. This is the obsessed stalker that still continues to stalk you even as you document, which is speaking to an impermissible threat that's going toward the prosecution of the whole entity. So these demons are still stalking. I just want to document that. And it is 6:22 p.m. P.O.C. Oh, I also want to document criminal summoning. The entity begins sounding sirens. That's speaking to what is federal prison. All right. Like I said, every employee inside of the Open Family Community Library on surveillance cameras prosecuted for that. So this is the entity that is sounding sirens under a fake sun. Those are demons of the fire department, the police department, already heavily documented. The ambulances, American Medical Response, demons to be plucked out of those positions, removed from existence while they're engaging in state surveillance. It is 6:23 p.m. And you're understanding what is the environment, and so you're understanding what you're witnessing. You're witnessing demonic activity. Demons sounding sirens in engineered light while demons are pacing all around and engaged in what is surveillance while this demonic activity is underway. All right, and this is the state of California telling on itself, telling on the people of the state who are subject to what is an inevitable and very intense prosecution. Alrighty, it is again 6:23 p.m. This is criminal summoning, P.O.C. Alrighty, I just want to be clear. So the Dole Express, they're monitoring. The entity at T-Mobile at 100 South Euclid Avenue in Ontario, California, they're monitoring. This is speaking to those who are capable of being documented while the entity is pacing around sounding sirens. The people of the state subject as a matter of justice monitoring with them, and this is how you're going to punish an entity that engages in this. And so you're talking about the employees inside of T-Mobile, federal prison, the employees inside of Dollar Express, federal prison, the employees inside of Zolos Birreria, federal prison. Not just the employees, those demons that are documented, engaged in any sort of purchase, presence on surveillance cameras. This is how you're using documentation that's occurring in the jurisdiction where surveillance is underway as you're listening to sirens under a fake sun, and they're all posing an impermissible threat together. This is audacious conduct while you're listening to sirens, and the people of the state are going to be punished for that. And so I want to be clear, the United States Postal Service, every demon employed at that venue and present on surveillance cameras inside of that venue, federal prison. Rich's Second Jury and Loan, federal prison. Sam's Liquor, I'm just reminding you of where I'm at in relevant position. The Ontario Senior Center, the Ontario City Hall, Laverne University College of Law, they're engaged in criminal summoning. This is an entity that's threatening your life while demons are surrounding, pacing all around, with these psychopaths that are pacing all around on foot, engaging in what is criminal monitoring. And I want to be clear, Union Pacific is engaged in that as well. The entity is engaging in what is conduct with the people of the state. So again, remain cognizant who's group stalking with the state that's sounding sirens. The people of the state in facilitating venues in relevant position. And where I'm located is speaking to what is relevant positioning, and you are automatically being documented while they are in relevant position all around me. So it's criminal conduct that is speaking to the direct evidence against anybody. Essentially, you're talking about traffic cameras, the venues that surround, very easily documented. All right, who's around? You're talking about the B&G Plaza where the fake sun is remaining over the Open Family Community Library. Let's be clear, I walked north to get to the opposite side of Hope Boulevard where the fake sun remains right now after 6 p.m. That was not the sun that's over the Shiro's Liquor over the roof, by the way. And that is the pattern of conduct where you're hearing demons sounding sirens while they're engaged in surveillance and they're listening to you document. That's why the demons inside of T-Mobile, Dollar Express, Zolos Birreria, RIA Money Transfer, the United States Postal Service, the Mestiza Cafe, Cake House and Cafe, the San Bernardino County Public Health Clinics at 150 East Hope Boulevard, the 3-Star Janitorial, the B&G Plaza, Shiro's Liquor, Andy's Burgers, Ultra Personnel, Oscar's Barber Shop, all of those venues, the Ontario Town Square Townhomes, the Metro, everywhere in relevant position where they're surrounding, engaging in surveillance and terrorism and harassment together. This is grounds of federal prison. While I'm just documenting it for you to listen to it on my podcast. Okay, so I just want to be clear. That's the 6:26 p.m. The entity engaging in what is criminal summoning. That is P.O.C. All right, it is currently 6:54 p.m. So I want to document. Hold on. I'm going to document these demons, including the third party that arrives The entity is currently, I'm going to give you very specific conduct what the entity is doing. I'm sitting on the side of the Ovid Family Community Library, which I've captured many times. The entity is flashing directed light underneath the rim of my hat. My head is down, I'm looking at my phone, I'm looking at videos on YouTube. And this is the desperate degree to which the entity wants to affect me, divert my attention, harass me, somehow bother. And at the same time that this occurs, Tracy Banks arrives to hand over food. This is Satan bearing gifts while the entity is engaging in that conduct. This is the same minion that's present while the entity is flying over me by helicopter. This is this third party's engagement in this demonic pattern of conduct of pacing around, engaging what is harassment. And this is a psychopath that's arriving, hey, to give me pizza while that direct light is appearing underneath the rim of my hat. So I just want to be clear. I want to document that. And this is speaking to, again, the threat that Alrighty, what you'll see in images at 7:06 p.m. This is directed light that's covering the Ontario Senior Center. The sun would not be present over the building and then aiming light on the same building. This is concentrated light. Directed light will see the Ontario International Airport sending commercial airline planes hovering over the apartments, the senior citizen apartments. I'm showing you what is group stalking by demons whose name I don't know, and group stalking by essentially Tracy Banks, who comes to participate in that group stalking with them. That's literally what she engaged in. All right, in doing so while the entity is engaging in harassment and demonic conduct, terrorism, flashing directed light under the rim of my hat while I'm sitting underneath the side of the structure. This is literally what she's coming to engage in. So that's what I want to document. And I did capture images of the Ontario Airport group stalking by plane. Union Pacific is amplified audible activity as well. It is currently 7:07 p.m. This is P.O.C. on the side of the Ovid Family Community Library. 8 PIP 596, engaging in what is stalking with the Ontario police who fly directly over, again, the senior citizen apartments where I'm standing outside of. These demons are crossing path with that license plate. They're going to federal prison for that. You have another demon that crosses path, engaging in terrorism, directed light beside me. That license plate, the 8 PIP, they'll go to federal prison for that. All right, they're monitoring together. They're group stalking inside of the parking garage, where I've already shown you the directed light. They're group stalking with the Ontario police, who are stalking by helicopter. It's currently 9:23 p.m. That particular third party, I'm going to penalize them for what is the stalking, conduct, and terrorism that they're participating in with the Ontario police. And that's how you're punishing group stalking, by the way. They're going to federal prison. They're listening to me document that right now. They're going for a long time as well, because that's impunity. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. Ontario Police group stalking while I remain at the Ovid Family Community Library. Eight VUJ 499. ABUSAM 5 PBR 605 in the Ontario Police. Group stalking. Flying over BNG Plaza 6 UXB 172. This is Shiro's Liquor. They're on surveillance cameras, Enterprise, truck rental, crossing path as well. Coming to molest. This third party, they're going to federal prison. They're group stalking in Shiro's Liquor with a Latino male wearing a cap, 2410583. Molesting as well. 6YB035 molesting, 7AGW159 molesting as well. 5MVX513 molesting. 6W53229. 7CVF583. 6RBN936. CDW06. CD60W66. Excuse me, that's paper. 6EJV 689, I believe. You can scratch that. I can't really see them. Let's see. License plate 8FUB401 6BIE883 7NJN484 6GPC651 93196N1 8UQK949 9ACS305 5XNS055 6GBB673 7YEH777 9AKY385 8ADUU10 7UBM185 JPOWERS. There is the Ontario Police Department following from the library. Group stalking over here at the Woodside Senior Apartments. That's the Ontario International Airport hovering over. There are no planes taking off over this residential neighborhood. This is in directed light. This is where the entity is aiming directed light inside of this vehicle. This is where the entity places a fake sun over me. This is 325 West G Street. The entity is stalking by plane and helicopter. This is P.O.C. Okay, this is demonic activity. Demons stalking at the end of the street with light. Demons pacing all night long, aiming directed light onto the house, impossible light, aiming directed light inside of the car all night while demons are pacing all around. This is terrorism. I documented license plates inside of Woodside Senior Apartments on my podcast. The entire community is monitoring. Let me be clear, those specific third parties are documented on my podcast while the Ontario Police Department is stalking with the people of the state. That's the police department that's going to be disbanded, that is still stalking. It's ongoing evidence against the demon Corey Walton, who was group stalking at that Ontario Police Department, a state facilitating venue, where the sun is not both over this street, over my head at 10:29 a.m., and also over that Ontario Police Department where he was group stalking, the same demon-possessed entity that's stalking by helicopter right now. All right, and this is the third party, Tracy Banks, who was group stalking with the people of the state, engaging in what is a criminal act of trying to sacrifice her daughter. She's going to sit in federal prison. She's a demon. It's P.O.C. License plate 8UZ756. Excuse me, 8UUZ756. She's stalking with light activity. All right, this is P.O.C.